Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the DeBethune DB1 Chronograph Monopusher. You can see this 18-karat rose gold first generation DeBethune timepiece on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images not including my wrist, and of course complete pricing details for this first-generation DeBethune. Now, founded in 2002, DeBethune was on the vanguard of the modern trend of independent ultra-haute de gamme watch manufacturers, created by master watchmaker and former watchmaking professor in the School of Leloc, Denis Flageolet, and his business partner David Zanetta. The company catered to an elite clientele, and although the styling ethic of the watches has changed dramatically over time, the commitment to quality and attention to detail has never waned. You can see in the early days, the focus was on precious metal cases, rose-lathe guilloche dials in classical fashion, and of course these ogival or bullet fashion lugs. The watch wears quite compact on the wrist, almost like a lugless timepiece. It's 42 millimeters across the round of the case, not inclusive of the crown and monopusher actuator. In terms of thickness, quite slim, just under 9 millimeters. It actually has a domed bezel and sapphire, so it wears even thinner than it is, and it is quite thin. From lug to lug, you would expect a bigger span for a 42 millimeter watch, but the total distance between extremities across the wrist is only 47.5 millimeters. I believe you could wear this watch with security and style and a good sense of proportion on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. It fits that well. Now, it's paired with a medium brown, unbolstered, extremely flat, folded edge, monotone stitch, rectangular scale alligator leather strap of a high grade with a calfskin underlay, and a matching DeBethune 18-karat rose gold bullet profile pin buckle for easy on-the-fly adjustability. Now, the qualities of the case are exceptional. First of all, the polish and the lines are beautiful. One might even say sculptural. It has almost a fluid metal quality to it, like drawn rose gold that hasn't quite cooled in a foundry. And you can see that there are very strong case lines on the flanks, as the bezel and the case back are slightly cantilevered components. You can see to good effect how they actually project out beyond the polished case band. Of course, the back of the watch, individually numbered, and that's pretty darn close to the actual serialization of DeBethune timepieces very, very early in the production run. Of course, the company started in 2002, and this watch was released, and this exact model, this unit in my hand, was released quite close to that point. So you're really looking at a sort of Promethean DeBethune here, but it does not lack for refinement. Within that beautifully sculpted case, there is a solid gold dial blank with rose-lathe guilloche. It's cut beautifully with a clou de Paris at the center, and then different steps for the individual registers as well as the hour track. It's beautifully calibrated. All of the printing is in blue, and the hands themselves are beautifully heat blued and oxidized. They are effectively a slight pear style, almost a sort of hybrid of pear, foy or leaf style, and breguet. Highly distinctive, beautifully finished. This is an element of DeBethune design and fabrication that remains constant to this day. Extraordinary hands on extraordinary dials. Now you can see it is a monopusher chronograph, and you can see within the sharp, almost industrial bolt-style geometries of the crown, there is a monopusher to activate the chronograph itself. So we may as well activate that. It is a manual wind timepiece with a 36 to 40 hour power reserve. Now, the movement was created by a concern known as THA, and this was a joint venture of Vianney Halter, F.P. Journe, and Denis Flageolet of DeBethune. Now, the interesting thing is, he later purchased the rights to the movement, so it is effectively his movement in his watch. It was shared originally with a number of timepieces, including 2 entries from the Cartier CP Haute de Gamme collection, the Tortue Monopusher and the 2007 Monopusher Tank Chronograph, but those watches are quite rare, few and far between. It was also used on the Ulysse Nardin Monopusher Chronograph. However, important to note, none of these watches are common, and the DeBethune is not so much rare as hen's teeth, but as rare as hen's teeth on a rooster. An elite caliber, beautifully finished. It's a 22 jewel movement, beats away at a rather traditional 21,600 vibrations per hour. It has a very crisp column wheel actuation to it, so the action is quite satisfying. You can hear it, you can feel it, and the use of a double swivel pin engagement means that it manages to exercise, in the religious sense, the ghosts of the chronograph jump. Although not quite as silky smooth as a vertical clutch, this is one of the most refined traditional lateral clutch movements ever created, and it's coupled to a very crisp and satisfying column wheel. This is an extraordinary timepiece and a genuine piece of independent high horology history. Before they were winning GPHG watchmaking Oscars in Geneva, before they were building spaceships for the wrist, DeBethune got the elemental aspects right: build quality, originality, mechanical sophistication, and superb ergonomics. You can experience them all on this DeBethune DB1 Chronograph Monopusher, available on our website.